empowerment are.
And the Christians being the majority in Ghana, what do you think will happen? And to me, that is a real test.
Yeah.
Prejudicial comments on it.
It is unconstitutional. If you look at Article 21C of the Constitution, it gives every Ghanaian an opportunity to practice their religion.
Why am I saying this? I'm going to use my life experience as an example. Before I decided to enter into SRC,
COVID is very important. HIV is equally important.
Agencies must do a lot. And Ministry of Gender.
I could see flashes of light, I could see shadows, I could see images, but then it stopped. I am now blind and have to decide and all that.
There are challenges to this effect. So what do we do as a nation? What do we do as individuals? What do we do as organizations?
Je lance à toutes les personnes handicapées, aussi bien les femmes également.
Once you lack integrity, trust me, you are going nowhere.
A lot of people go to church and they are Christians, but they are not truly repentant. It's happened to me, like only by the mercy and grace of God that I'm alive to share all that I've been through or went through.
Showing every Friday at 6 p.m. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on Twitch, as well as YouTube. You are welcome to Empowerment show, showing on Today Ghana News TV.
Ready
power back to the host as Good evening to all our cherished viewers. It's your usual Empowerment Hour show tonight, and we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and via satellite on Twitch for those in the Eastern European countries. We are also on Anchor FM. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page to receive prompts anytime we are live. Kindly subscribe also to our Facebook channel as well. Before we go into our conversation, just to remind you that Authentic Sales, which is an online business, offers you quality products at affordable prices and is associated with Empowerment Our Show. For your original Apple products ranging from iPhones, chargers, AirTags, etc., kindly contact them on 020-800-2854. The quality of your product purchase is guaranteed and assured with Authentic Sales. We do need women in civic life. We do need women to run for office and to be in political office. We need a feminist to be at the table when decisions are being made so that the right decisions will be made. This is from Dolores Huerta, who is an American labor activist. And Margaret Thatcher also said, and I quote, "If you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman." This quote actually is debatable to some people, as it is perceived that women are talkers and talk more than men. Well, tonight we are privileged to have with us two astute women in politics on our platform to speak to us on this and many more. Grab your seat and call a friend to call another friend to join us on tonight's discussion. Right, so we have with us tonight Mami Pokuya, who is an NPP grassroots, and Miss Patience Nyelba Inso, who is also an aspiring OCOWARD coordinator. All right, so Mami Pokuya, you're welcome to Today Ghana News TV.
Thank you very much, and good evening to our viewers.
Good evening to you as well. All right. So we'd want to quickly proceed with our interaction. It's going to be very brief. And so I would want to find out from you if someone wants to know more about you, who is Mami Pokia?
Thank you very much. Mami Pokia is a young lady, I would say. A journalist by profession, formerly resident in Ghana, Domi Kwabinya constituents, and a member of the Communications Directorate at Domi Kwabinya, but currently based in Germany and actively participating in politics. And I would say I am an advocate for women in politics.
Wow, that's impressive. That's really impressive. Thank you for being on our platform tonight. All right, so quickly, I would want to ask you, Mami Pokia, what inspires you or what actually inspired you to venture into politics? Why does politics matter to you?
Thank you so much. You see, most of the times when we talk of politics, people only think of the political platform, the government, and other things. But the interesting thing is that in our various homes, day in, day out, we do politics with our children, with our husband, debating on issues that has to be done in the house. But you know, the interesting thing is that when it comes to nation building, and I see men on the platform, or let me say on the stage, shouting, making the noise, making all the promises, I sit and ask myself that long ago there was this myth that certain things are for men. But when I see a great woman like you mentioned, Christian Chacha, Margaret, and my own mother, Kate Jimfua, sometimes I ask myself, this woman really inspires me because for the number of years that they've been in politics, the kind of influence they've had on our society. You know, using Ghana as an example and a grassroots member, there's this myth that it's only strong men with brains, sharp brains, who can do active politics. But when we put these two women on scale with some other men, I can confidently say that they come nowhere near them. So when I look at myself and look at these women and how far they've gone, the motivation was that if they have done it, I can also do it. And so Kate became, the National Women's Organizer, NPPK Jimfua, became my role model. And I started from Domi Kwabinya, Agbogba specifically. And tonight, I can tell you that there's nothing that you give me on politics that I'll close my eyes and say, no, this is for men or for women. So women who have done it have really motivated me to follow in suit. Thank you.
Wow, that's great to know. Talking about women that have made it in politics, that leads me to my follow-up question. And I would want to start my question with a quote. I saw this quote from Aisha Tayam, and she says, there needs to be a fundamental shift in the way societies view women in government, one that does not see them as mere seat fillers or stats or statistics on a chart. They must be viewed as a vital contributing factor to the betterment of the world. A lot of people think women in politics are merely seat fillers. They come and warm the seats in parliament and all that, and even in politics. How critical do you think is the role of women in politics?
Thank you so much. You see, like I said in my earlier submission, gone are the days when people believe that certain things are earmarked for men alone. Now, all over the world, if you've really observed, you see that now people are chanting for more women to be in the various parliament houses. Why? The reason is that when it comes to policy formulations, and specifically concerning gender, children, and other things, and you have masses of the women in your parliament, it gives you the best policy. Why am I saying this? Let's take Ghana, for example. Recently, my MP, Honorable Sarah Adwa-Safo, there was a whole lot of noise about her. Not that she wasn't performing, but one vote from a woman, not even from a man, everybody was shouting because she needed to be there to make that difference. But the question is, this woman we're talking about, Sarah Adjua-Safo, has been on Dome Kwabinye's seat for a very long time. What is it that has kept her so much there? Now, this is the point. Women who are like me, and I know all women will follow, has come to realize that the men alone cannot build the nation or the world for us. Why? From our various homes. The upbringing of children begins with women. So if women, like the myth, they have that certain things are for men, and then women only come to warm the seats in the Parliament House, they don't put anything meaningful on the table, then why is let me say, why are our men so confident in us when it comes to child upbringing? They leave the children for us to raise, and these children are those who are now calling themselves the men in the Parliament House. So in brief, all I want to say is that when it comes to nation building, and you have women like me, who is ready to learn, who is ready to go extra mile to do anything for the betterment of the nation, anything in quotes, please. What it means is that the presence of a woman in Parliament House makes the difference. Which difference am I talking about? Yes. Those days you hear the men say, yeah, yeah, I concur. But a woman will raise a yeah, with support, ways to explain why she supports. So years ago, the politics that we have where women will be so quiet because of maybe their culture background or social norms, no, it's no more there. With the intervention of education and with these conferences by women, we all know that if the man can put something meaningful on the table, in this era, 2021 and beyond, 21st century, no woman goes to warm the seat. We go there to make meaningful contributions, which has helped to build Mother Ghana and various nations at large. So that thing, I will call it a mere myth, which has been broken now by the performances from our various women in active politics. Thank you, my host.
All right. Thank you so much for explaining that into details. I think a lot of people have such misconception about women, especially in politics. They see it to be a male-dominating area. And thank you so much for letting the world know that they need to have a different perspective of women in politics. I would want to find out from you personally, as Mami Pokia, what actually made you enter into politics?
You know, as a growing child, I grew up in an environment, or let me say, in a family where my father belonged to the NDC and my mom belonged to the NPP. But in all, it wasn't about where my mom or dad was. But I looked around and I was like, people go out there, we call them parliamentarians. They go there to make the laws for us. But at the end of the day, I see these laws not being enforced. So it's like what they go there to at the end of the day is cause 90 work. You've made the laws, but it's not being enforced. So it's just like not having it done. Okay, what can I also do? So I started from those days. I was at SIC about 15, 16 years ago. Then when I get my own colleagues, I'll ask them, do you think when I grow up one day, I can do something for women? And they were like, why do you ask? So yes, look at this, especially Margaret Chacha, you mentioned her name. I read a lot about her boldness, her confidence, and the things that she was doing. So I told my colleagues, those days in SIC, that I want to stop this way, go into journalism, study a little bit about social science or politics, and then see what I can also offer for Ghana. So when I got in there, I realized that most women are not able to do any meaningful thing, not because they are not willing, but they don't have the assistance, being from the government or from the community. So you see, maybe somebody will be an MP, there will be needy people in the constituency that she cannot help everybody. So at the end of the day, that person is voted out. So I started, fine, if my MP cannot do all, I will start something. I have the money, I have the ways to talk to people that will let them also come down. So the main idea was that I want to help the needy people in my community, not only with money, but with skill training. So by so doing, I went to Olam Ghana and a few other institutions, learned certain things that I can do easily with my hands, like the tie and dye, parasol, detto, and other things. And by the end of my whole program, I was able to affect more than 300 people's life. Now I come to the point. My reason for joining politics is that I realized that if you have the good people around you and you can really communicate well, make meaningful statements to them, you can get something very vital from those people to the grassroots members who may not have the chance that I have to get in touch with those people. And I have no regret for doing that. Now I can say by the help of politics, I help more than 15 people who are not blood related to me. And that is a relief to me. Thanks be to politics that I involve myself so much actively to. So to me, it's a plus for a woman to be in politics. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. And so, what unique skills do you think is needed for women who want to enter into politics? What are some of the skills you would encourage women to have?
You see, naturally, I will go back to our culture and our norms again. Years ago, it was believed that the kitchen was the ultimate place for women. And so lots of women were not educated. But fortunately for some of us, we had the chance to. So I now want to encourage every woman. It doesn't matter whether you want to be a politician or not. Education has no age limits. The first thing that you need to do is to have very good education. It is only when you have that that you can have good information, you can do critical analysis and know which one to put on the table. And someone will say, I'm 40, I'm 50, I am over 40 years, but I still go to school, not in the classroom. Now, with the intervention of the social media, you can be in your house. And you know, the joy is that with good policies from NPP government, even if you, the mother, cannot go, your child who is in that secondary school for free can tell you certain things that will motivate you. You know, politics is like being a journalist, my sister, you agree with me. Some of us can go to school for 100 years, but if you don't have a deep-seated talent for journalism, you can't put anything out there. So it is with politics. Somebody might have not done politics in school, but you could see they have that dying heart, the attitude, the inner gift within them that they speak to people and people understand. So for me, please be well educated, not necessarily in the classroom. Know the community and the environment you find yourself in. Learn from your environment. Search for new information. Be ready to face all the words, you know, because sometimes women, when we go into active politics like this, or let me say women who are so confident of themselves and know what they want, sometimes we are earmarked that these people are proud, they are arrogant, or they are too knowing. But no, it is never here or there. I want to encourage everyone. Once you are well educated on what you really want to do, have your information, you have the world falling at your feet at no stress. Thank you, dear.
Great, great. Okay, so Mami Pokia, as a woman, how did you find the political terrain, considering the stereotype regarding women in politics, as you've even mentioned? Is it actually difficult for women, especially young women, to venture into politics and actually do politics? How has your experience been as a political activist?
Thank you, my dear. Honestly speaking, from the word go, it hasn't been easy and it is still not easy. But the word is be determined, be disciplined, be focused, and remain truthful to your words. I was lucky to have people who were my role models and are still my role models that they don't even know. No. And you know, from where I am coming from the journalism background, sometimes we have the opportunity from GBC, you can go to the Parliament House, you can go to all the big social functions. So I look at some people, I hear the stories from others, what they've gone through. So before I went out or fully into politics, I knew certain things were going to come up. So I armed myself. Which ones? You know, sometimes during political rallies and other things, some of us like Mami Pukuya, who loves money so much, could design NDC, MPP things, give to my people to go and sell. I have to be there sometimes for stories. And people are like, those women who are following the men at the end of the day end up being used by the men. My dear, it is never so. It is about who you want to be. I have been in politics, if not more than actively, more than 12 years, I'll say 15 years. But no politician can say he has even proposed to me. Why? The way you present yourself, it is the same way you'll be accepted. Know what you want, know where you are going, and know what to put there. So be disciplined, focus, be determination towards whatever you want to do. Because without determination, when you see Amma doing something, hey, let me see what Amma is doing. When you see if you are doing something, let me see. But when Mami Pokia knows that in the next 10 years, I have to be able to help all the children in Amansia West, that is my determination, that's my focus. So I'm determined to build what will let me do this particular thing. Without this, my dear, forget it. The pressure will come. People will hold you. People will say all manner of things. But prove them wrong, not by exchanging words, but being focused, doing hard work, and letting the people around you see what has come out of the involvement you involved yourself in the active politics. It is only that thing that can make you set you free from all these perceptions and maybe false speculations that at times come up with. But if you want to defend yourself, then like it always goes, you become NDC MPP. You debate and still have nothing to say. So I encourage every woman, once you venture, tell yourself, this is my purpose, and remain focused. That has been me from day one, and it is still me. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very much welcome. All right. So, all right, we have, please, can you turn on, can you unmute your microphone? You're welcome. You're welcome to Today Ghana News TV.
Thank you.
It's
Good evening to
Patience.
you.
Good evening. Please hope you are doing great.
I'm great. How about
We
you?
thank God. Anna,
Good evening to
I'm
your
also
parents
doing great.
listening to you.
All right. Good evening. Okay, so it's great to have you on the show as well. We just spoke to Mami Pokia, and then I would also want you to briefly introduce yourself so that our guests who are our panelists that are listening to us, sorry, our viewers that are watching us would know who we are interacting with tonight.
My name is Patience Inso, from Upper East of Ghana, Palugu. I've been in the political. I've been in the party for some time now. I started as a member, secretary, and now I'm aspiring to be a ward coordinator. I'm actually hoping to get to the very top. Okay.
All right. So, how has your experience been as a female politician or as a woman that has ventured into politics? How has the experience been for you?
It hasn't been easy. It really hasn't been easy. It's so challenging. With the people you work with, materials you need to actually help with your political career. Coming by these things are not easy at all. The kind of people you have to work with in terms of educational background, you have those who really know more than you do. You have those that, you have to train on your own. So it's actually not an easy thing. Apart from that, you have your, sorry. Apart from that, I spoke about financial challenges. That's
Okay.
yeah. It's very difficult to come by money to support
Okay.
um, your work.
All right.
Sorry. I'm actually, I'm, I'm actually having some challenges with my internet as well. So
Yeah.
I'm really not focused. Sorry.
Yeah. Don't worry. We can bear with you. All right. Okay. So thank you so much for your submission. I'll come back to you. Let me also ask Mami Pokia some few questions and as you work on your internet patience. All right. So if I can have Mami Pokia back online. All right. So as we wait for Mami Pokia to also come online, let me read a few comments that have come through and then we continue with the discussion. All right, this is from Citizen Wise, and he says, watching you from the United States of Amasaman constituency. Thank you, Citizen Wise, for watching us. I saw a few more comments. This is from Sweet Mother Tete, and she says, good evening. Good evening, Sweet Mother Tete. Thank you for joining us. Cletus Akogo says, blessed evening, watching you live from Kaswa. Thank you so much, Chris. All right, this is from Oduko Kwejo Opon, and he says, watching you from Berlin. Greetings to Mami Pokia. I saw a few more coming in. Kwekuadi says, I'm highly impressed with Mami Pokia's submissions. All right, Brimpon Boisiakon says, today Mami Pokia is impressive without doing the usual MPP lies and propaganda. Watching you from Warsaw, Poland. Good job done, Ohenewaa. Thank you. This is from Bethel Glad. Is it Bethel Glad? Sorry, Saudel Glad. And she says, good evening. Good evening to you as well. Patience Zako says, women are very powerful. Watching you from Hamburg, Germany. Nana Tafrimu comes in to say, Ohenewaa, I'm watching on YouTube from Tatale, Northern Ghana. Today, you are forcing the NPP woman not to do propaganda and lies. She's being trained to lie by Nana Boateng, but today she's doing well. Okay, this is from Odukwejo Opon, and he comes in to say, NPP is proud of you, Mame, my future MP for Dome Kwabenya constituency. Chris Akogo comes in to say, nice submission, Mami Pokia. All right, if that's it for tonight, I would want us to quickly continue with the discussion. Sweet Mother Tete says, lovely presentation, Mami. And then Osai Superior comes in with a message. I am loving the show. Today is the first time I'm seeing politicians not speaking politics. Watching from Barcelona, Spain. Chris Akolo comes in to say greetings, patience, and so. And Citizen Y says, watching live from the United States of Amasaman constituency. My regards to Honorable Sedem Afenyo of Amasaman constituency. Right, so that's it for the comments for tonight. I'm sure more would come in. Until then, let's continue with our discussion. If Mami Pokia is online. All right, I think Mami is off. So patience, I hope your internet is stable now and we can proceed with the discussion.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I hope the internet will be kind to us this time around. All right. So I would want to find out from you, do young upcoming female politicians get the needed support from their fellow experienced women in politics or from their male counterparts? Is such support easy to go by per your experience in politics?
Um, it's actually not easy to be supporting those who are already established in the political field. Believe in you, they will want to see what you've done. They will, I mean, a lot will have to go into you convincing them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy to meet them as well. So how are you going to do that? How are they going to, I mean, help you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Domin Kwabinya, yes. I want to meet my MP. Maybe I feel
All right. Unfortunately, Patience Network is not allowing us to flow smoothly. And so we would want to bring Mami Pokia back online and then quickly wrap up for tonight. Welcome back, Mami Pokia.
Thank you, Madam Host. Thank you so much, Ohenewaa.
You're welcome. All right. So it's very obvious that every job, it comes with bitter and sweet experiences. As a female politician, what are some of your ups and downs or some of the bitter, sweet experiences that you have experienced? And also, what are some of those experiences that up and coming female politicians ought to know and possibly expect?
Thank you. Thank you, Ohenewaa. That's a brilliant but very important and difficult question. But you see, let us digest into that. What I will say, per my own experience, is that once you decide to venture into what we call politics, know that you have nothing like a personal or private life. You become an icon for the community and the nation at large. So once you brand yourself with a political party, remember you've branded yourself with your family name. So I want to entreat every woman, and for that matter, every politician, in as much as we go around speaking to people to give us power to decide or to take decisions on their behalf, please, mutual respect. It is the humility that was, I would say, taught by my parents from the very beginning that has really sustained me. Because there are instances when you know you are very right. What you are saying is the right thing to be said, but you'll be forced to say it is the wrong thing because you have a superior. Someone may say, then you are not being honest. No, that is not it. You know, the accounts have a popular saying that asɛm no ɛwɔ sɛ yɛka nanso yɛanka no mmerɛ mu a ɛdane asɛm bɔne. So if you are really ready to enter into politics, there are three things that has been my guidelines and I would want to share with everyone. First and foremost, remember, whatever you do affects your family, your party, and the nation. Secondly, being a woman, no matter how far you go, we have this belief per our culture, various culture background and society, let me say our geographical area, that people believe that no matter how far a woman goes, you can never be like the man. On that note, I would want to say that it doesn't mean if there's something good in you that you can bring out to help the nation, or let me say in nation building, accept that certain things are for men. No. Go out, give all out. Let people see the reason, the rationale behind what you are putting on the table in a decent, more respectful way, involving all the people, the stakeholders who matters. And then when there's a problem, everybody will hold forth for you. And finally, I always say this. I pride myself so much to be an NPP person, and I'll pride myself tonight also. But the truth is that it is Ghana first. Wherever I go in Europe, any part of the world, I have come to realize one thing. When one politician, let me say female politician, make one mistake that that person makes affect every woman. Once you try to go in, they go like, this person came, what was she able to do? There's no need giving you the chance. So I plead with every woman, being so respectful, taking all the various stakeholders into consideration in everything you do, bearing in mind that once you venture, you are no more the private person you used to be. Remember also, whatever you do affect the nation, your family, your political party, and at the end of the day, the good name you leave behind will affect your unborn generation. So this has been my mark, and that is what I'm always praying to walk in, not outside these three things. Thank you, my dear.
That's awesome. That's awesome to know. Thank you so much. Ghana first in everything. All right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people make claims that the game of politics is self-seeking. That's more like what is in for me as an individual. Can we have your take on such an assertion?
Please come again. I
Is
didn't get you
politics
right.
a lot of people make some claims that politics is more of self-seeking. What is in for me as an individual and not the collective good of the people? What's your take on such an assertion?
Thank you. I will say the answer is yes and no. Yes and
Okay.
no, in the sense that from where I am coming from, what motivated me to enter into politics is not for myself benefit. I would say by the special grace of God, I come from a place where with or without politics, life still goes on. Being the last child over 40 years, and imagine with 5 children, everything is okay for me. But sometimes I watch documentaries as journalists. I go to the remotest parts of our country. Sometimes I go to Nigeria, Gambia, some of the neighboring countries, and I see that there are people like me or children that I was also once like them. But because of basic amenities, certain help, small things that they need to make life more comfortable, but they cannot get. I told myself, the best way for me to get in contact with philanthropists and maybe politicians who really understand the importance of the next generation is to make myself available to help. So I started by helping the people in my community. And you know the funny thing, before I left Ghana, I was voted as the chair lady for my polling station, Anglican A and B polling station in Agbugba. And by then, I had been with them for just weeks, not knowing the selfless dedication service that I did some years ago was the basis for which some people voted for me, which I had no idea of. So I'm saying the answer is yes or no, depending on the personal mentality, the idea for which the person decides to enter politics. As I speak to you, my dear, I still have not gotten to my goal because my main aim is to help the real needy, the needy people, the old people in our community who were unfortunate to have children like I'll say I'm blessed to have, and they may be able to support me in my old age. So depending on why you enter into politics, that will be how you go about things. It is true. People go there and they're like, "Minya ashe na me kope bia mobi." No, I went into politics because I saw that nature has been kind to me, but it isn't everybody that nature has been so kind to. And fortunately for me, I have some good men, both NPP, NDC, even CPP people who support me in doing donation, helping children in school. That they themselves don't know that it is Mami Pokia they are helping. So All I'll say is that be a positive thinker. Don't let selfish interest be your hallmark, because at the end of the day, time is of essence. But we came into this world to do what? Have our names, not to live forever, and leave behind a good name. Make a good name for yourself and your next generation. That is who Mami Pokuya has been, and I'll still focus on the same thing. Thank you.
Wow, I'm impressed. Mami
Thank you.
Pokia, what do you think of our country's political system? If you had the opportunity to change anything concerning the political game or leadership in this country of ours, what would it be?
Thank you. A very important question. Those who have met me or those who normally listen to my audio, I have one big problem, a very big one. Why do I say this? In Ghana, let me speak of Ghana because that is what matters most to me. I have watched a particular thing happening over and over. In the year 2000, when power changed hands from NDC to NPP, whatever, may he so rest in peace, the late Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings did and was not able to complete, the then president, former president Ejekum Kufuor, completed almost everything, if not all, about 80-90%. I can confidently say that. But from 2008, when power changed hands again, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. And I want every Ghanaian to hold every politician responsible for that. Things that Kufuor did and was not able to complete, and his time was up, like the affordable housing. That is where my problem is most. It was left to rot in the bush. Why? Because if NDC comes to continue at the end of the day, they will say it is an initiative of the NPP and they have to continue. And then they are now like, Kufuor, His Excellency came, he has come to complete the Terminal 3 airport, Kumasi, now he's in the northern region completing all the other things that NDC started, and they're like, it is our project. Yes, I humbly want to make this appeal to all Ghanaians, who Ghana matters so much to them. It doesn't matter whether NDC or NPP. Every political party or politician comes to you to say, give me the mandate to help improve Ghana. Give me the mandate so that I'll help to develop Ghana. So when NPP leaves something behind, every Ghanaian must hold NDC responsible. They must complete that before they start another one. And when NDC also leave anything behind, any well-meaning politicians like we NPP, as we have done, we have developed and completed everything that NDC left because their time or their term of office was over. This is what we call national interest. We understand that at the end of the day, it is the taxpayers' money and it is the unborn generation or the next generation's name that we use in taking loans. So when you come and say NDC started, NPP started, and you leave that particular thing to rot, and after 2-3 years, if 1,000 Ghana cities could have been used this year to complete it, and we come to spend about 3,000-4,000 to do it, you don't have the nation at heart. So it doesn't matter which political party is in power. I urge every Ghanaian on, hold them responsible. They should complete everything that has been started by their predecessors. It is only in this way that politicians will know that Ghanaians now really know what it is to be a Ghanaian and why they voted for them. Then we'll all be on our seats and work up to the expectations of all Ghanaians. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome, Mami Pokia. Okay. So I think Patience is also back online. Let's listen to Patience and then I'll come back to you, Mami Pokia. So kindly be on standby. All right, welcome back, Patience. All right, if Patience is with us. Patience, you're welcome back. Welcome back, Patience. It's rather unfortunate that the internet is not working in your favor. Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can now hear you.
All right, okay. So, Patience, with regards to voting, a lot of people have begun having apathy towards elections and all that because they feel the people elected into our office are not being accountable enough. What would you have to say on the issue of
Can you,
apathy?
can you come again? Can
All
you come
right.
again?
With regards to
Okay, thank
apathy
you.
towards election voting, a lot of people are beginning to have that apathy for voting. What do you have to say on that? How would you, talk about people who are beginning to have apathy towards elections, towards voting, joining the queue to vote and all that? They feel they are not being accountable enough. Those in offices are not being accountable enough. Can I have your take on that?
Aspirants from politicians actually
Unfortunately, Patience Network is not doing us any good, and so would want to go back to Mami Pokia and see if she'll be able to work on it. We are sorry for any inconvenience caused. All right, Mami Pokia, please, what advice would you give to any lady who has the passion to enter into politics or has any political endeavor? What advice would you give to such people? Please, can you unmute yourself, Mami Pokia? Your microphone is muted.
Okay, thank you so much. I will not call it advice, I'll call it a humble appeal to my fellow women or ladies who have the passion to be or join politics. It's not an easy task in the first place, I would say. But the bitter truth is that if you're a woman and you really want to be in politics, bear three things in mind. Our society still holds on to some myth that politics is not for women. So coming in, you should know that you have to break through certain things. And that will be done by you alone before the community or the society will accept you. So the first thing is that knowing this, you have to be really determined. Secondly, there are people on the higher parts of the ladder you want to climb. So if you really want to get there, let humility be your hallmark. Respect, good language, and be ready to learn. It is only through these things that you have people who have the knowledge and will see the good thing in you coming forth to hold you and raise you. And finally, when a fellow woman gets up there, this is where my humble appeal comes. Like Kwame Nkrumah said, when you train a man, you train an individual. But when you train a woman, you train a whole nation. Women in politics, we have a very big role to play. Why am I saying this? Most of the time, by nature, our affable way of doing things, it makes us easy to convince people to understand what we want. But most of the times, we manage this opportunity. And then when we have the opportunity to be there, we become so arrogant and proud of ourselves. When this happens, you block the way for other people to follow in suit. So with all humility, I plead with my fellow women, no matter how far you have gone, how far you want to go, no matter your educational background, no matter your societal status, please, in politics, is three things. Somebody will have to raise you up there. You have to be ready to learn with humility and respect. And remember, you have a reason for joining and be humble. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. All right, so we'd want to go on a quick commercial break, and then we'll have two more questions for you before we call it a night.
Okay.
All right. Empowerment we have,
and the Christians being the majority in Ghana, what do you think will happen? And to me, that is a real test.
yeah.
Make prejudicial comments on it.
It is unconstitutional. If you look at Article 21C of the Constitution, it gives every Ghanaian an opportunity to practice their religion.
Why am I saying this? I'm going to use my life experience as an example. Before I decided to enter into SRC,
COVID is very important. HIV is equally important.
Agencies must do a lot. And Ministry of Gender.
I could see flashes of light, I could see shadows, I could see images, but then it stopped. I am now blind and have to be sad and all that.
There are challenges to this effect. So what do we do as a nation? What do we do as individuals? What do we do as organizations?
Je lance à toutes les personnes handicapées, aussi bien les femmes également.
Once you lack integrity, trust me, you are going nowhere.
A lot of people go to church and they are Christians, but they are not truly repentant. It's happened to me, like only by the mercy and grace of God that I'm alive to share all that I've been through or went through.
Showing every Friday at 6 p.m. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on Twitch, as well as YouTube. You are welcome to Empowerment show, showing on Today Ghana News TV.
Abusuafo Professor Mo Ochini mmakwaba eba Total Grace Wellness Center. Total Grace Wellness Center eye apomudin asoe kese bi a abefu mfidia kese ahyemu ma onyankopon adumti ya bepiem ewo asantemam ha biaya a yefre no Santase Ampatia Amangwase. Santase Ampatia Amangwase se ye hunhum mu ana se honemu yare bi enani wudi esi a wachine wunya no adura Brian Chen na onyankopon adumti ubenya wayaresa odofo frɛ ahomatrofo yi so 0257 420633 and I say 0257 359884 Total Grace Wellness Center, body, soul and spirit wellness.
Yeah, please hold on. Sweet Mother Tete. All right, so we are running a promotion for our ardent followers, and then we have Sweet Mother Tete, who has been consistent on the show online, would want to ask her a few questions, and then a different person, in the person of Wiseman, Amasaman, would want to ask them 3 questions each, and whoever has the highest grade or marks would get some gifts. So we have a portable DVD player and a portable laptop to give to these followers. So we entreat you all to keep following us and to keep joining us whenever we are live, as we'll be running some more promotions as the period goes by. And so we have Sweet Mother Tete on the line. It's on speaker and I hope you can hear.
Yes, I can.
All right. So, Sweet Mother Tete, I have some questions to ask you, and then based on your responses and which ones you get correct, would know which of the gifts you are entitled to. Okay. So, can you kindly name 3 of our weekly programs on Today Ghana News TV?
Okay. I think we have Empowerment
Okay.
My View.
Okay.
And My Show.
All right. Okay. So correct. Can you name 2 of our female presenters?
Joyce Ohenewaa Kwapong.
All right.
And I think Antonia Jifaifa.
Wow, that's great. Okay. And what's the name of the host of Empowerment Our Show?
Empowerment Our Show is hosted by Joyce Ohenewaa Kwapong.
Great. That's great. And so we will give you your reward backstage. Thank you so much, Sweet Mother Tete, for joining us. Keep watching us, keep supporting us. Today Ghana News appreciates you. Thank you. All right. So let me call Wise Man. I tried calling him earlier. Unfortunately, I couldn't reach him. And so let me call him and then we see what goes ahead. Bye. All right. So that was Sweet Mother Tete on the line. We want to hear from our other follower, that's Wise Fight Amasaman, and then also ask him some questions, and then we will give out the gift. Whilst we wait for him to pick up the call, let me read some comments that might have come through. All right, so this is from Ajoache, and she says, God bless you. VIS Ghana says, watching you from Edukrom Ikiapim, the ladies are good. Okay, this is from Al Fahad, and the message is she has a lot of advice. I don't know whether time will permit her. I have learned a lot from her, though I'm not a lady. Thank you so much. Okay, so he comes in again to say, Mami Pokia MP, you are too much. You have done justice to the topic. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so this is from Saudel Glad and says, Mami Pokia, you are not being truthful to your listeners. I don't know from which point you are coming from. All right, this is from Laurentia Ikia. And she says, God bless you. God bless you too, Laurentia. Keep following, keep watching. I don't know if there's some few more comments. If not, we would want to go back to our interaction. Unfortunately, Wise Fight Amasaman is not picked, the line is not going through, sorry. And so we'll try connecting with him next week. Would want to wrap up for tonight. Let me take one or two from Mami Pokia and then from Patience as well. All right, Mami. Thank you for coming back and joining us. I want to find out before I take your final words. I want to find out from you, do you think enough has been done for women in politics? Has there been enough interventions? And what do you think can be done to get more women in?
Thank you. If I'm to rate it over 100, I'll say just about 15-20% from my view has been done for women. There are a lot of things that needs to be done in terms of motivation, education, opportunities. A lot of women are not privileged to some of these things. So I'll plead with our various politicians that now in this era, I'm sorry, but I have to quote someone's words. Like they say, what men can do, women can do, and even do it better. Though not always so, but now in politics, everything is possible when you have a woman who is ready to learn and to work. So I plead with the men and our stakeholders. They should make equal opportunities available to both men and women. And I believe strongly, Ohima, that when we have greater percentage of our MPs being women, it will change things around for the nation. So women has not been well or fairly dealt with. We need more opportunities to climb the ladder to the highest level.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mami Pokia, for letting us know. So it means we still have a long way to go to ensure a higher representation of women in politics. I would want to take your final words for tonight.
First and foremost, I would like to say a very big thank you to you for the privilege, opportunity, and also our viewers. And want to say this big greetings to all the members in the NPP Germany branch communications directorate, the NPP branch executives, and everyone. And I humbly want to say this, please, Ohima, allow me, come on the 1st of October in Dortmund, Saturday, the day is a Saturday at 4 p.m. The branch is launching its development fund and unity dinner. I humbly want to invite every well-meaning Ghanaian, though it's an NPP program being organized, but it is open to every Ghanaian. And also, on behalf of the Communications Directorate, I sent a warm condolence message to our director, Nana Osei, who has lost the mother, Osei Boateng, and also to every Ghanaian Domikwabenya constituents and everybody. I say, I love you, I miss everyone, and let us be up and doing, work hard to support Mother Ghana, for there is no better place like Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mami Pokia. I would want to take the final words of Patience as well, if the internet will permit us to. Your final words, Patience. It's rather unfortunate your internet didn't favor you tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So I would like to thank everyone for making it on today's Ghana News TV. And also, I would like to add up some few. I would like to plead with, women in higher positions to actually to help the youth. The upcoming ones, the very vibrant ones, especially the ladies. They should groom them to become, to also become future leaders one day. I hope with that, it will actually close the gap in our political, not just politics, but in higher positions. And we'll get to where we actually want to get to. If women are actually in power, it helps a lot. You tend to have a lot of developments than that of men. So there's a little I will also have to add up. Sorry about my internet connection.
All right, okay. Thank you so much, Patience, for making time to join us. We appreciate and we hope to have you on the show another time, hoping that your internet will be stable and permit you to make your awesome input. Thank you for joining us on Today Ghana News TV.
I'll get a
Thank
stronger
you so much.
one.
Right, very important. Thank you so much as well, Mami Pokia, for joining us tonight. You also made awesome contributions. Your points were very impressive, and we could tell even from the comments of our audience for tonight. This is how we wrap up for tonight. I would want to say to my fellow women out there, don't underestimate your strength. Acknowledge your power and refuse to stay silent. Remember that you also deserve a seat at the table. You belong in all places where decisions are being made. And so don't wait for permission. You belong in all places where decisions are being made. If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring your folding chair and join. Best still, create your own table and invite people to join you at the table. I have been your host for tonight, Joyce Ohenewaa Kwapong. If there are no comments, this is how we wrap up for tonight's Empowerment show. All right. So I think there are no comments. There are no comments.